Hello everybody. This video is about the unused Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic stuff. I'm going to say where I got it, and I got it from the cutting room floor. And if you know where it is, then yeah. And if you don't, just look it up. But yeah, let's get down to it. Here are some unused graphics for when they were working on the game, and if you've played the game or seen someone play it, it doesn't look like this. And or for the audio for the UI for it, it doesn't look like this either. Then this is pixel art of Helpy's head for UI arts. That was for the crane puzzle. And there was a couple of mock-up arts that was made by Glenn Letter, I think, I don't know. That it would usually show the sprite mostly on for the top right of the map and log screens of the helper terminals, next to the shortened version of the player's current objective and some words of encouragement depending of which menu was being viewed. Here's a placeholder icon that shows Freddy's head. And here is an early version of the autosave indicator. Of course, if you played the game, or seen it, or someone played it anyway, this doesn't look like this. Now, one of the logos used to be the poster decal as a placeholder for decals for this game, Secret of the Mimic. Now, there are also textures for Bonnie that can be found in the textures for placeholders for, you know, Bonnie. All of Bonnie's body textures from Help Wanted can be found in Secret of the Mimic for the textures and whatnot. They are used as placeholders for the materials and whatnot. And here is an alternate version of the Steel Wool Studios logo. Then there is the VR temporary loadings icon for the VR mode with Helpy. There are also other ones for loading icons and whatnot, but as you can see, they were not used. And then there are the unused audio. And as you can see, there wasn't as much, but there's still enough. And if you go to the cutting room floor, you can listen to all this. I don't want to. Here is a hallway, which doesn't have any textures, of course, but if you know what this is, and it looks like it anyway, you know what this looks like. And it is also from the Curse of Dreadbear DLC. And yes, it is a cutout of Bonnie that is not even in the final game. Can't even look at it. Can't find it anywhere. No matter what. Now here is a placeholder model for Big Top. In the final, you know this doesn't look like him at all if you played the game or seen someone play it. And here is the placeholder for the recycling cube, of course. Yeah? And it's basically a model of Trash Cube, which, of course, that's basically how it is in the actual game, but it doesn't look as bad as it does. And here is a early model for the Data Diver, which, if you've seen it, if you've played the actual game, or if you've seen it from someone else playing it, it doesn't look like this. And now here is a unused animation of Jackie. It's only one thing, and jump scare, and that's the only animation that is unused. And there is the unused strings that says Fall Fest ticket book that confirms the first Fall Fest, which took place in 1970. And then there is the unused videos. Out of the 6 of them, there is the 5 unfiltered birthday films. And I don't want to, I don't want to have to say it, because I'm pretty sure they are too long. Then there is the Faz Force ad, which is basically from Help Wanted 2, but of course it's unfinished. Well, the unfinished version of it anyway. Then there is the cut ending, and if you know, there is only 3 endings in the game, but I guess originally there was going to be 4. The name was called Redeemed, another good ending. It says you override Mimic using the profile of the inventory himself. Mimic becomes locked in to the inventory's persona. The game ends with the Mimic of his son's grave, mourning the loss of his child. As of yet, there is not much known about this ending, but it's most likely assumed that it was scrapped and reworked in favor of the 3rd ending. Then there is the VR mode. The current build of the game contains a super unfinished version of the upcoming VR mode. It is impossible to interact with most levels. Basically has to make you use the mouse, and all buttons are broken. You can play it until the end of Jackie's segment without the game locking up on you though, which means basically you shouldn't play it at all. Then there are the oddities. There is this Hedgy Hedgehog character, and then there is a cutout for Dolly. Apparently, it seems it was tucked away in the corner of the workshop, and there are 2 cutouts, one of Barker and one of Dolly. Well, both of them have no textures, which is most likely reason why you can't really find it, because it has no textures. But in the game, they were overwritten by a default wood plank material. The Dolly cutout seems to have been modified after her concept art, which, of course, but since in the game, you wouldn't see it, you wouldn't be able to find it. And then there is the Hedgy Hedgehog character. Of course, that character was most likely scrapped. The name in certain maps refer to him as Harry Hedgehog, but to be honest, an earlier name or stating that Henry made Hedgy is unknown, of course, because there's nothing really known about him. But of course, there's because they basically got rid of some things in the game, which is understandable. I hope everybody enjoyed, even though I didn't really try my best on editing this to my best potential. To be honest, I do it for every video, but this time I didn't really do much either. Or anymore, but I still hope everybody enjoyed, nonetheless. But yeah. Everybody would like and subscribe. That would be pretty cool, don't you think? But yeah. See you guys all later. Peace.